Yeah!
It's Josh Williams here, and welcome to episode 4 of the One Man Podcast for Wednesday, June 7th, 2017. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I am so excited because this week it is not, well, it is still just one man, but I also have one woman here with me as well. I have my beautiful angel, Crystal, is going to be here with me on the podcast this week.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, so the two of us, we're going to talk about some things because this week a lot of my talking points are things regarding the two of us. So, why not get things from the horse's mouth, right? Both horses. I don't even know. I'm trying to think of maybe there's a metaphor out there, something that has two horses. I know the horse's mouth is one. Yeah, not my best work right off the top.
Sorry,
That's
keep
okay.
going.
But so we're happy to have you guys here. It is not going to be just me rambling. It is going to be both of us, rambling this week, right? And I wanted to start off this week by going through my little mention section here. And I wanted to say that I don't know if you guys know this. This is the fourth episode, and I have been looking at sort of the demographics and the statistics of the podcast. Every episode seems to have more downloads than the last, and that's very cool because, of course, every week I get some more subscribers. Very happy. Welcome to anyone who's brand new. But one of the things that it shows me in terms of my statistics is it shows me where in the world my listeners are coming from. And I have one, it shows me a lot of Canada, a lot of US, because that's where I know, friends and comedians from. But I got one download in the UK the first week. And that's it. So I'm sorry I lost that person. I'm not a big hit in London. That's fine. I understand. I've never set foot in that country, and maybe I shouldn't now that I know that. I also, and in the first week, I actually had one in the Philippines as well. But that's it. Yeah, exactly. The UK and the Philippines. And I was super stoked because I was like, oh my God, look, the UK, the Philippines. And I got one in Australia that first week. Now, the UK and the Philippines one have never downloaded again. So it could be that it's just a friend who was traveling there, had it on Facebook, and that's where they were when they downloaded it. That's what I choose to believe because I don't want to believe the potential truth, which is that they heard it and they're like, what the fuck is this? And then never listened again.
That can't be it. No.
Not possible. I'm too lovable. But but the thing was, the Australian download, I got one the first week, and then episode 2 came out. I had another one download from Australia, episode 2, and then episode 3 came out, and I had a third download from Australia. So that leads me to believe that I may actually have a loyal listener in Australia. So I do want to say that if that is the case, there is a person out there who's listening to the One Man Podcast in Australia loyally every week. I would really love to invite you to send an email, contact@onemanpodcast.com. I don't have to necessarily read it on the air. I'm not going to try to put you in the public eye or make you feel uncomfortable, but I would love to just, even if it was just via email, to know that you're out there listening and just introduce yourself. I probably have a bunch of Canadian listeners who are going to send in emails and try to take credit. I'm your Australian, and then a bunch of Australian jokes. So I hope that's not the case. But I would love to hear from you, my potential Australian listener. I would be nice to meet you because that's all I can call you so far. That's all you are. So that's that mention off the top this week is I've had some fun with these demographics, and it's very cool to know that so there might be someone out there who's listening who I've never met before. So thank you for listening. I don't know what to start with this week. I'm really excited to have you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta give her a pass. She has been all night. We've been setting up and getting ready. The kids are upstairs in bed. We were recording this podcast on Monday night.
Yeah, we told them to shut up there. You cannot make any noise because we're recording.
Yeah, we had to do that thing where we set everything up and then I let them test it out and see what it was like and everything like that so that they know. Totally. Yeah, so like, what's going on? Like we had to totally get them immersed in it, understand what we were doing before we did it. And then over the course of the last hour or two, your allergies have gotten bad.
Yes.
And you've been sneezing and you took allergy medication. So not only is this way past your bedtime, but you're fighting your allergies too. So if she's a little sniffly or under the weather, it's allergies.
I'm a trooper, guys. It's all good. I said that right, trooper? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually. I get that quite wrong.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of my comedy, it's a callback to that. But yeah, so I figured it may be fair to start by saying, I just addressed the fact this is way past your bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
Because you work early mornings. Because you're a mother and it's the hardest job. I'm joking.
Don't.
I'm, I'm just saying that, yeah, you're up early because of your job. And I want to take a second. So just anyone who doesn't know, because people know I'm a comedian. But even people who know both of us, some of them don't really know what it is that you do.
Yeah, well, I've changed careers recently, so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're a photographer, and you're still an excellent photographer. That's what you do professionally. And of course, you just went to school again a couple of years ago for what the name of the program?
Recreation and leisure.
Yeah, and I sort of have an understanding of that is, but I'm not always certain that when someone asks me that I explain it correctly, because it is, as much as it's like recreation and leisure, and almost now so that you know what it sounds like to people like me, it's like recreation and leisure. It's like you went to school for sitting around, to sit around and dog fuck, like recreation. Like I like to play video games, but I also like to lay around and do nothing. Like that's what recreation and leisure sounds like to me. But I know what it is, obviously, and so. And, you know, the in-depth, like, I mean, garbage men are sanitational engineers, right? If you say I'm a sanitational engineer, it's like, oh, what does that mean? You're like, I'm a garbage man. Yeah. But I'm just saying, so titles can be misleading.
For sure.
So like, I know what you went to school for. How do you describe to other people what it is that you do now? Because you've since graduated with honors, and you got a job in your field before you were even out of school.
Yeah,
which was amazing. So I'm gonna let you talk now. I'm totally fucking
No problem.
bragging you up because I'm super proud of you.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
But
so recreation and leisure. So what I do is I promote the elements of health. So physical, mental, and cognitive. And I do it for different populations. Right now I'm focusing on adults with disabilities. I started out working with seniors. And that was going well. However, I found I was more suitable in this field. I have a disability as well, so I find I'm able to relate and help in different areas, helping with adaptive devices and such. So we do all kinds of different recreational things. For example, I'm going to be doing a Star Wars group, actually, that I'll be getting your help with. So not only are we having fun, of course, but there's educational components and there's physical components, all these different elements to help raise awareness and to help promote their health. Yeah,
so it's like, because I mean, at first, I always understood it as like, you know, you go into like part of a very small, not even, I don't want to say small aspect, but a compartment of it is like you could go into like a retirement residence and like play bingo with them like we see on Better Call Saul. And that's not exactly recreation and leisure per se, but it is in the sense that it's like their activities.
It is activities, but they have a purpose. So, and where I'm focusing is therapeutic. So these are to encourage and motivate and to help someone, right? It also a big motivator, especially for seniors, is to avoid depression and you know.
Right. It gets them active and things like that. So, and like you said, there's a purpose. So it's kind of like, if you're a group that's sitting around a lot, you know what I mean? It's sort of like you said, it gets you up and moving. I think
social, there's all kinds of components.
Absolutely. Well, I think you told me about one time where it was just like as a small example, you guys, just an activity, you guys made ice cream, but you had to put everything into the ball. Yeah. And everyone took turns shaking the ball. Yeah. So as much as it just seems like, oh, we're just making ice cream and I'm just trying to get everyone involved, is that whole back, you know, behind the curtain of it is like, I'm getting everyone active and doing something. So there's like, I think that's really cool because I mean, I don't want to come across as insensitive, and I hope I don't, because I don't mean anything by it. But I mean, I would say that culturally we have this impression that, like, you know, you go to an old folks home and, you know, like, oh, that's got to be horrible. Like everyone, at least in my life. So maybe I'm speaking for too many people, but I know that in my family, we have a lot of on my mom's side. There's a lot of people who've gotten old with dementia. You know, not really intense dementia, but like that forgetfulness. And a lot of our on my mom's side, people were put in homes. So we visited a lot of like aunts and elderly people in homes, and it was just this horrible, like, we my mom used to say, like, I never want that. Don't ever put me in a home. And I think a lot of people like, don't ever put me home. We have this, I don't want to say notion.
Stigma.
Yeah. That it's like this horrible place to go. So I think that unfortunately, like in the world we live in today, I don't think everyone can take care of their aging, you know, family members.
No, that's just
It's
life.
the reality.
That's the way it is. Exactly.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Yeah, but my job is to try and make the most out of that and give them some different elements so that they're not just sitting down and doing nothing, that they're being social, they're being active, and it's more than just bingo. There's all kinds of different activities, of course, but that's the thought that's associated for sure, right?
Yeah.
But there's so much more, and going out on outings, activities, all kinds of things like that. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is I think it's great that you're doing that, because like that's the thing, you really are taking that stigma and very, I mean, in all at least in my opinion, so again, in my opinion, you're way more experienced than me, but at least in my opinion, you take that image of what it may very well be like if there was no one like you out there doing it, where they just sort of sit and stare at a window all day. So like you go in there and you actually give purpose and you make it fun. And now it really is a retirement community and not an old folks home. And and now that was originally what you wanted to focus in that area because you had some experience prior, right?
Exactly.
But that's not what you do now.
No. So now I work with adults with disabilities.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it ranges, right?
Yes, absolutely. I was actually working on a farm, a therapeutic farm, where we did all kinds of programming where we're interacting with animals, which is huge therapy. And then just building things. There was all kinds of horticulture, all kinds of different activities there. We also have a day program where I'm doing lots of activities there. Yeah,
I was just going to ask. I apologize to interrupt because it is informal, and that's the thing too. Is actually, believe it or not, like it just in this conversation, because I knew about the therapy and things like that, like how it helps, but I didn't really realize that all of the programming was that there was underlying purpose. It wasn't like, hey, here's the like side benefit of it. It's actually like the benefit is the first part of the programming. You program it for this purpose, and then you add the fun and stuff around it. So it's like here's why we're doing it, but then here's how we make it fun. As opposed to I was thinking, hey, what's fun, and then and hey, if we could incorporate some elements of therapy or whatever in it. So it's really cool. I think it's really, and to be totally honest with you, the difference between the two of us, I love you. You're my lady. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, in terms of the difference between the two of us, I have my issues with mortality. I think I addressed it the last podcast of, trying to go do a show and being like, how long would it take an ambulance to get to me? Right. I have issues with mortality. As much as I care about people, and I do, I want everyone to win, and I really do care about people. I'm the guy who's not mean to the little old lady who wants to talk to him in the return line, right? I'm happy to engage people, but to go into a place like that and to see sort of how like you said, it could be depressing. I'm like a lightning rod. I would absorb that, and I don't think I could be in an area like that. And even people with disabilities, some of the things that you've described to me, I've signed all the waivers. So don't worry. I'm not allowed to disclose any of this stuff, but some of the things that you've described to me, and I remember when you first started working there, I remember you too coming home and just feeling like there's some really intense cases, and it does weigh on you. And I mean, again, it's not like I'm interviewing a stranger. I'm talking to the person I care about, and I know these things about you. But one of the things that I just want to share, and I have no problem saying this publicly, is that I think it does take, people say that term, it takes a lot of heart to do that. Like it does. It's a very selfless thing, because I can tell you right now, as much as I care about people and I would never wish ill on anyone, I would never do anything to harm anyone, I just don't think I have what it takes in me. I don't have I really do think it takes courage, because it's scary to see it every day. So anyways, I just wanted to say that it really is noble, and it is so the fucking polar opposite of what I do.
But I appreciate that, but I feel like I'm the sunshine in a sense. I'm here to help you and make you feel better,
You're
right?
like the light, Michelle Pfeiffer from
but
Dangerous Minds. You're like,
but not to woo, but it's so rewarding. And even to walk in and everybody knows your name, and happy to see you, you're happy to see them, and they're ready. They're like, the program that you've developed, that you've put all your heart into. I even made a photography program there where I taught them different photography techniques. So I got my two hearts involved together, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Good. Well, and then you know what? And I think it's great. We
you.
What?
More about you now.
More about me, yeah. Well, just so that people know. Like I said, there's a lot of comedians and friends of mine that again, that's the problem when it's left to me to explain, because I am very thick. And as much as I think I know or try to understand, I don't always know. And sometimes it's even harder to articulate because I don't really do it, right?
Yep.
So now it's come from, from you and it's been explained a lot more articulate.
I
So
hope I've articulated it okay.
yeah, now we never have to talk about it ever again.
Sweet.
No. So yeah, this week you and I had some fun.
Yeah.
We took the little one. We have two of them, but we took the littler, less large.
The little one.
Yeah, the littler of the two little ones. There, that's what I was trying to. It wasn't skipping. It was me trying to talk to Wonder Woman on Friday night.
Yeah.
Right.
By her choice, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Well, it was like, hey, what do you want to do? And she's like, let's go see a movie. I took a look. She goes, oh, Wonder Woman. She pointed to it. She goes, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go see Wonder Woman.
Nice. And
Yeah.
So that was what we did. We had just her that night, which was fun. We got to take her out. We went to the lovely VIP theaters again.
Uh-huh.
But we didn't go to the VIP theater inside the VIP theaters.
Well, I don't think we can bring her in. Doesn't she need to be like 19?
I don't think so. I just don't think they'll serve her.
Because
we went to the AVX one, which is like the big IMAX, and that's on the same floor, which is also licensed. So you can buy a booze and bring it in.
All right.
But so yeah, we went to see it in IMAX, 3D, right?
Like ballas.
Yeah. So we went to see that. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a lot of things on Facebook. I don't know where to start with this because I want to say I had a good time. I had a great time.
I did too.
In fact, we went to it's sort of a new part again for anyone who's listening outside of Ottawa. It's at Lansdowne, and it's a newly developed area. And then there's all these new stores and stuff like that. And one of the stores they have there is a Lindt store.
Oh God, don't even. Don't.
Which we walked
Regret
past.
City.
We watched, and that was even an issue tonight we were talking about too. So this was, okay, so very quickly, the Lindt store we walked in, and I was like, hey, honey, I want to check this out. Because I was there with Jason, God knows how long ago, a month or two, 3 months, who knows. And he bought this, I don't know where to start. It's such a long story.
Yeah, I'm cutting out sugar starting like June tomorrow.
Yes, that was
tomorrow,
important.
and I'm like, yeah, let's walk into a chocolate store.
Well, no, it's a swear.
When she's cutting out chocolate.
Well, and that's why I thought to reward, right, a last hurrah, which is always the worst fucking move. So I thought, you know what? You're cutting out sugar. I saw the Lindt store and I was like, oh, hey, you should check out what they have in here. Like
you
the
should.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It was cool. If you guys don't know about Lindt, I go to Costco all the time. They sell the boxes of like the Lindt, right? Everyone gets them at Christmas, the milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, little, mixed box they have. Well, they got several flavors of those in the store, like coconut and orange and
oh yeah,
yeah, cappuccino. They got a bunch of
coffee.
Yep. There's so many great ones there. Raspberry, like whatever. There's a
it
lot
goes
of,
on,
exactly.
unfortunately.
And the thing is, they're like, you can get 8 pieces. They all do it by weight. I'm like, well, fuck, are they not all the same size? How do you not weigh them? You know what each one of them is. Give me the number by units.
Yeah.
I stare at chocolate and guess its weight. What is it, goddamn jelly bean jar competition? Yeah. Like, I don't know just how much.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think, you know what? I think that's a marketing thing. Or not a marketing thing, but like a sales technique. Because if it's all by grams, then it's kind of like you're trying to eyeball it. And I think they know just how bad people are about
they know.
weight.
They're like, you could get 6 for $10, or you can buy this monstrous bag for $40.
Yeah. Well, and it's like chicks on the scale, right? They're like, oh, I'm like 120. And it's not. It's way more. So I think they use the chocolate technique for the same reason. It's that you just go, oh, it's probably only like 5 pounds. And it's like 12, right?
Yeah.
So you got to buy, and you pay for it by the weight. But anyways, they had what was it? It was $6.49 or $6.99 for 8 pieces. So I'm like, fuck, by the time you weigh in tax, it's $1 a piece.
Yeah.
And then they have this like weird silk Christmas stocking bag.
Oh, it's
thing.
Beautiful.
Is it really? I didn't know.
So
really? I just thought it was, so you could look through it and pick which color you wanted.
It just looks so good.
So they have this bag that holds approximately, you fill the bag up, and somehow they knew that would weigh
100.
exactly. Yeah, it's 100 pieces.
Fucking pieces of chocolate when you're quitting friggin' sugar.
Yeah. Well, it's like 100 pieces. You fill it yourself, and it's 38. So I'm like, oh, well, now it's 40 cents instead of $1 each, or potentially $1, like 3 or 4 or whatever it is by the time you're.
Yeah, but you're like, this is such a good deal. Anyways, I walk out of the store with a bag full of chocolate.
Yeah, this lunatic bought a bag. of chocolate.
And I'm trying to convince myself, okay, so if I give it to my sister for her birthday and then I give it to so-and-so because I can't eat it all and I'll give some to you. And
yeah, I'm not having it. I'm on a diet.
damn it.
I'm just joking. Not on a diet. And we'll address that too, actually. Maybe this episode or next. Depends on how much time we're at.
Yeah.
But sorry, that was just so funny.
Anyway.
And you were regretting it before you even gave them your money.
I know.
I
What
kinda wanted
was
to be
I
like,
thinking?
I was looking at you. I was like, we can just leave. Just let them fucking
You
let them
didn't
put
say
it back.
that. You should have said that.
I did, and you're like, well, then they're gonna have to put it all back.
I never. Oh,
You did say
geez.
that. You
Did I
did say-
really?
yeah, you're
See?
like, you
I'm
felt
chocolate,
guilty.
Like I forgot it. I blacked out, man. I was in a daze. Anyways, and this chocolate is a curse now. The kids want it all the time. They're fighting me on it.
Yeah, they gave us grief tonight because she's like, what was it? Yeah, she wanted to know where it was. We had to hide it because, again, it's expensive. Even at 30 or 40 cents a piece, it's still expensive chocolate.
And it's good. I don't want them to eat it all.
Right. Well, and there was like so many different flavors. There's like some of them are only like 2 of it. Listen, we don't
And
need
whatever.
To, we don't need to fucking justify ourselves to you people, all right? You just sit there, you deal with your chocolate the way you want. So, yeah, so the whole idea was you had to hide it because little gremlins will come home at 3 o'clock, right? And then they'll
That's
just
exactly what would happen.
devour the entire fucking bag.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the dog would be wading through the fucking
Oh
chocolate
my
wrappers.
God.
So, yeah, anyways, so we told her, you know, okay, Mom will get you some chocolate after dinner, a couple pieces, but you got to wait here because they're hidden. And she was like chasing you down, trying to see your location, and it ended up being a big fight.
Yeah. Anyway,
And
she
then
didn't get any
bad.
chocolate. We didn't cave. It's all good.
Yeah,
But it'll just be another battle tomorrow.
yeah. This chocolate's tearing families apart.
It
It's
is.
hell chocolate.
Anyways,
So,
on
yeah,
to the movie.
yeah, Wonder Woman. What was I don't know. Everything on Facebook and the reviews and everything are like, oh, like for starters, Wonder Woman was rated on Rotten Tomatoes, which is so far my barometer. I found them to be the most reliable source. Not always right. Sometimes they give a movie great reviews and it's not. Sometimes they give it shitty reviews and it's good in my opinion. But it's the closest one that I can find as a barometer. They gave it like 93%.
Really, eh?
Yeah, and they gave Guardians of the Galaxy 2 81. And after seeing it, I didn't dislike Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was very entertaining.
It was better of the DC movies.
Oh, fuck yeah, but that's so easy.
It was. I know. But not compared to Marvel.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
Guardians was, like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go nerdy
It's
or
got a
whatever.
sweet spot, though.
Yeah, Baby Groot and Rocket were
So-
hilarious in the
yeah.
whole movie. And as much as like there wasn't really much story in Guardians 2, I won't lie, there wasn't a whole lot of story in it. It was more like cute scenes and jokes, which, hey, if you're going to a movie to be entertained, I was certainly entertained. We talked
Absolutely.
about that already on the podcast.
Yeah.
But I thought Wonder Woman was like, it was like the fact that it had to take place in World War II and there was a lot of like scenes in the war. I thought it was a
Yeah.
little, now I haven't read the comics and I don't care to necessarily like maybe research, but I'll probably ask some people who have, is like, was the comics Wonder Woman running across battlefields in the war with her
Yeah.
lasso and her sword and shield? Like there's something so like medieval about her style. And then watching her running around with like old school army guys in
Yeah.
the same scenes, like it seemed so odd to me. And then the antagonist in the movie is Ares, a Greek god,
Yeah.
but he's a dude in the army.
yeah.
Like because it was war related, instead of her being like, I'm not trying to.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I think if you look it up on IMDb, like Ares, I'm not gonna say how she beats him.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: the good guy wins in a superhero movie. But like, I think that, I thought it was strange that it's like, okay, so you have a Greek god who's in an army. So he's an army dude, but now you're like trying to tie in the god stuff. I thought that it was like, look, if you're gonna make a girl against a god,
Yeah.
and then she beats a god, and then hey, one day she's in Justice League and the Bruce, Batman versus Superman, which already came out, then I get that. She defeated a god, she's an Amazon, and she's immortal for that reason. Instead, it's like, let's make it a war movie and have a bunch of dude soldiers in it. Like part of me, believe it or not, thinks that the whole reason that they had the war stuff was like, why can't you just have the woman being a hero and fighting shit? Why does she have to have a support group of men? As much as they didn't make it look like the men were saving her ass or anything, but why can't she just be the hero? Do you know what I mean?
That's a good point. Yeah.
So yeah, and I just it just seemed odd. Overall, story wise, seemed odd to me. So I didn't really like it. I didn't hate it. I was entertained, but I just felt like in terms of, because like all that controversy, right? There was a theater that showed a screening of Wonder Woman. It was only women that were there.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, and people got pissed off about it. It's like, who gives? I didn't care. I was like, okay, yeah, let people do it. It's very
Yeah.
empowering. So I really kind of thought that for a movie that was finally like, because I think for years they were saying like, why isn't there a Wonder Woman movie? There's Batman, there's Superman, why not a Wonder Woman movie? And I think there was like arguments. I don't know if it was the studios or what, but people were saying that what would it be about? Wonder Woman's character so sort of odd. What could it be about? And I guess now that I've seen the movie and it's like World War II plus medieval style Amazons fighting gods, it was like, it did seem a little all over the map to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. Didn't hate it. But if it's like, if I had to give it, if you had to give it stars, no wrong answer, out of 5, how many stars would you give? Netflix rating, what would you give it?
Like 3.5.
Okay. I got to be honest with you. That's exactly what I was thinking. Upstairs
Okay.
earlier tonight, I was going to ask you this question. I was going to say, hey, star system.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was going to, I was thinking, I do percentage. To me, when I see a movie, I go, okay, there's 5 stars, which means every star is worth 20%. So, a grade A movie, 4 stars, 80%. I'm like, great, that works. And I was wondering, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, should we do the half star or should we just do 1 to 5?
I was gonna say 4, and I'm like, no, but 3, no.
That's what I was thinking. I was going 80. I go, I can give it an 80. I don't love 80, but I like 80 more than 60.
Yeah.
I think 60 is not fair. So but
Yeah,
I was,
70.
so that's what I was like, oh, well, do we do half stars? And I was thinking that I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it before we started.
Which is
recording.
good. Make it real.
Yeah. But I think but it's cool. Yes, absolutely. But I think it's actually cool that so I give it exactly the same thing. 3.5 is what I think is fair. So 70, not 93 Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
We're changing movie reviews here on the One Man Podcast today. So we are, we're getting a little ways into this thing. We're almost at the halfway point, and we have barely started talking about anything else. Are you having
Thank God.
fun?
Would you get on with your show here?
We that was our Friday night, so we saw Wonder Woman. That was fun.
Yeah.
Did we watch anything after that? I thought we came home. No, we didn't. I asked you in the theater if you wanted to watch Batman versus Superman because you haven't seen it, and she's in.
And I'm
that.
like, I'm done for today.
Yeah, and I don't blame you because I don't really want to watch that movie again. It was pretty shitty. On Saturday, we had a good day.
We sure did.
We had an old people lunch at
We did.
Panera Bread. I don't know if you
It
guys.
was so good. I don't
God,
care
yeah.
if it was an old person lunch.
we went
I'm
and
old.
we went and had a half sandwich and salad. The previous time we had a half sandwich and soup. This was
good.
oh yeah, it's a good spot too. If anyone doesn't know, so for my listeners who are in Ottawa, it's Panera Bread at Hunt Club and Marivel ish. That big what do you call it, plaza, I guess. They it's a good little spot. Like you could just basically, they got nice little sandwiches. Like I had a sandwich that was on cranberry and walnut bread, so it was just kind of whatever.
It was good.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, I mean, I would say whatever in the sense that like it's not grand. It wasn't like, oh man, it's a 5 patty baconette. Like it wasn't ostentatious. It was just like, yeah, it's a nice sandwich. And I think I had chicken breast with white cheddar, which is again nothing special. But then they had like apple slice or apple slaw
Apple slaw.
on it, and that was good. So I mean, I enjoyed that. And then I had like a fruit salad. So it was like lettuce with blueberries, strawberries, whatever. None of this is important. The point is, right? And what did you get?
This is like taking a picture of your food right now. This is what you're doing. Sorry,
it was
guys.
probably the best meal I've had all week.
It was good. I think there is
yeah.
a picture of that actually.
Yeah, there is. Oh, okay. But I think it's on my Instagram, Josh Williams
Yeah,
Instagram,
well.
not on. So maybe now I have to go on with One Man Podcast and repost that. Oh, fuck it. Nobody gives a shit about food pictures. I don't think they do. I know I took the fucking picture. I'm just
No,
saying.
it's all good. It is all good. Anyways.
So, and then what? You had like an avocado avalanche sandwich. So much avocado and it kept falling out of your sandwich.
And then I ate all the avocado and gave you the rest.
That was your salad.
Oh, that's right.
You had, and it was like this weird sort of like, if you guys have ever had tortilla soup.
It was good.
Yeah, it's like corn tortillas, cilantro.
Except for X-nay on
Yeah,
the
we had to
cilantro.
send it back because it had the cilantro in it. Even after she went to check and see if they could take the cilantro out. She made the suggestion, I'll see if they take it out. And then she brought it with us.
And then she grabbed my bowl. She's like, don't worry, I'll take it out for you. And I'm like, you're not digging in my salad and picking it out.
I'm like,
Anyways.
that seems really ominous. Like, I'll take it out. Oh, that's good. What fucking flavor is your fingers going to leave in
No,
it instead?
it's all good. She was really nice. It was good.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was like a tortilla salad. Corn in the salad, which I thought was weird. And like some sort of sun-dried. Anyways, it was interesting. The pictures are on Instagram, but it's a good spot. It was like $12, $14 each for the the sandwich and the soup. Anyways, it was delicious.
It was great.
We had a good lunch, and then we went to Starbucks to do some work. I was trying to get some things organized for this episode of the podcast, and you were doing some photo editing.
And I got nothing done.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I think I talked about how last week there was the bucket list things. What was it?
Yep.
It was Mark emailed in about one of the things he wanted to do in his bucket list, and I had mentioned some of my bucket list things.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned I had asked you when we were sitting there, like, hey, what's a bucket list thing that for you? You know what I mean? And then you know what? To be honest with you, I can't remember what. I think there was your career bucket list.
Yeah.
Which I had asked you, and I don't remember what your answer was. And then there was the personal one, which I don't think is what we planned, or was that the personal one?
That's the personal
That's the personal one. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a second. And then there was the romantic one, which I do not remember.
Okay.
Because
this is great.
Yeah, I sound like I'm such a piece of shit.
It's all good. Do you want me to tell you?
Please.
Okay, so the job one is to have my own therapeutic farm.
Yes, I remember.
So I would love that. And then personal, I'll say for last. A relationship one, I'd love to go on a trip. I've never been on a plane. Oh my God, what's wrong with her? I know, but
no, that's
to go on a plane and travel far.
Okay, so do you mind if before we move on, we elaborate on that a little bit? Like, so I think let's say you had to pick a place.
Okay.
Okay. Not hold you to it like your bucket list is now this place, but as an example of something far.
Yeah.
Like a trip. So you're talking like, do you mean like different continent?
Yeah, I mean like Paris.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Just so that even I myself know. Because I thought of that earlier today, and I was like, I think she said to take a trip, but I'm like, it does seem, because I think that would be for most people is to take a trip. So just to make it a little more, I thought I'd ask. So yeah, I would love to go to Paris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
so
romantic.
let's put it on your card and we'll go.
All right, done. My card.
Yeah.
Okay, and then personal, and it sounds cheesy again. I haven't gone far, guys. I'm pretty boring, but I'm living it up in my 30s. I just want to swim in the ocean.
Yeah, I actually told that to a gentleman while I was doing my very glamorous ride-sharing job this morning.
Nice.
And I had mentioned that I was talking about the podcast and I was talking about bucket lists.
Yep.
And I had said that one of yours was to swim in the ocean. And he goes, "Oh, she's never swum in the ocean." I go, "Dude, I said see the ocean at first."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, just never seen the ocean?" I go, "Dude, I've never seen the ocean. I've never been anywhere near it in my life. I've never had reason to be, and my family was tight."
Yeah, we were tight too.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, you can't spend money on something that has no purpose other than to just see it. You want to see it, there's the internet, right? Why am I paying $80 a month for if you want to see it, there it is. So I think in talking with you, one of the kids had gone with his grandmother a couple years ago, and it was like a 13-hour drive. And I remember just thinking like, well, if it's only a 13-hour drive, I drive 10 hours to Windsor to do a weekend of shitty shows.
Yeah.
Sorry, Windsor. I love Windsor. It's sometimes quiet, but it's the idea is I'll drive 10 hours to do shows, right? So why not an extra 3 to like scratch an item off the bucket list? Do you know what I mean? So I think it was just like, well, we could take a look at this. And I think we just Airbnb.
So 3 hours later.
Yeah, 3 hours later.
We have a trip booked.
Yeah, we're going in today's the 5th. So we're going in a month tomorrow.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
That's going to be so much fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to...
Are we cheersing?
Oh, we can cheers. Cheers. We're drinking... you know what? I love these guys, and I don't know if I want them to be a sponsor someday. So I'll give them one plug for free, like a drug deal, right? You get the first one's free. So we're drinking Summersby right now.
Yeah, it was the only way he could get me on his podcast. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No,
I got to get her liquored up first. You should see what I have to do to have sex with me. Just to talk to me, I got to get her drunk.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we're doing that in like a month tomorrow. We got a super nice Airbnb, one that was like it was super nice, and it was the most expensive. We're like, oh, look how nice that is, and we're like, yeah. And it was one of those things we looked at and we're like, well, that's probably, and both of us without saying the others, like, that's probably the one we're going to.
Yeah,
we spend
seriously.
the extra money, so we spent a little more than double of what our original budget was.
But still very affordable because it's Airbnb.
Absolutely. And
Not
we're
that
gonna
we're
have
going
tons
to
of
plug.
yeah. What's yeah, you know what? I should probably send them an email and go, hey, do you want to, advertise to my 15 listeners? That's
Around the world.
around the world. Yeah, Ozzy, I need you to email in, man. We need to know that you exist. I gotta have proof for my, my content. But yeah, we're gonna take some nice pictures and some videos of the place.
Oh, I can't
when we
wait.
go there. So I'll share that with you guys. That'll obviously be a part of the podcast. I don't know what days of the week. I think we're going Thursday, Friday, whatever. So yeah, we're gonna leave a day or two after the podcast drops that week, and then talk about it when we get back.
Sweet. Unless you guys are sick of me, it's fine.
Yeah, send in an email. Let me know if you're sick of Crystal already.
Just kick me out. It's all good.
So yeah, that's exciting. We've actually been doing a lot of interesting stuff this year. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think we're trying to push the limit, get a little exciting,
yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't for Mother's Day because we were going to do that with your mom on Mother's Day. What day did we do? We did it as a late Valentine's gift to each other. Yeah. We had, if anyone hasn't done this, we had dinner in the dark.
So cool.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. I will try to do it quickly, and please help me out if I get off course. But you basically go into a restaurant and eat in the pitch black. And I don't mean dark with a couple little exit lights, or a little tiny red light on a smoke detector in the ceiling. I'm talking pitch black. There's even 2 sets of doors going in like an airlock to make sure that no light spills in from time to time, distracting. Like you sit in the pitch black. And something that was, we did it in Montreal because I don't think that they do it in Ottawa. They had a place in Ottawa that did it like as a one-off, but because they did it as a one-off, they're not used to it. It was a shit show. I performed at it. I did 2 stand-up shows in it, and they had servers with headlamps on, and you were wearing blindfolds. Like it was not the authentic experience. So you and I went in February, February for Valentine's Day, and it was so cold outside. I thought we were gonna
so
die
cold.
outside.
I was getting pissed off on the way there. I was like, is this worth it?
Yeah.
This better be worth it.
So I don't know if we had the 100% regular experience there because they were telling us when we got there about 15, 20 minutes late because we couldn't find parking and there was a lot of traffic. But they had told us that so many people had canceled because of the cold that we had a whole section to ourselves. Now we could, if anyone doesn't know this, one of the really cool things about this place is that they hire all blind servers because you're in the pitch black. Why do they need to see anything? You know what I mean? Like they can get around just as well as we can, and it's the perfect opportunity. They're actually more used to relying on their senses. So I think that's super cool. What you do is you go in, you put all your cell phones and anything that could cast light. Like they are very
Strict.
Yeah, strict and diligent that the experience is preserved and maintained. So you put all your stuff in a locker that you take the key with you. You sit down at the bar. They show you the menu, and you can order what you want. Or they had surprise menu. So it's basically just saying, tell us what your allergies are, and we'll make sure it's not in there. And the whole idea is you're in the dark. So not only can you not see, but your senses are heightened, like your taste and everything like that, and sound. So we ordered, went in. The server takes us in like a little conga line, and they sit you down. It's not a huge table, but like they basically lay it out for you. They describe how it is, how everything's in front of you, and then that's that sort of. They bring you your drinks and
your focus. It's so funny because I remember just feeling the table for like 5 minutes. Yeah, and Josh is talking, and I'm like, just shh. I gotta focus on what's happening. Yeah. And I just trying to soak in, trying to hear the noises around me, and just, it was a little scary at first, and then it was just like, okay, I could do this. Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
And I was so anxious. I was like, because they lead you in the dark. Yeah. So it's even like if you wanted to get up and freak out and leave, you don't even know where anything is. You know what I mean? And not to say that that's like my go-to. It's just like I want to freak out and leave, but it was a feeling of loss of control, which is a scary feeling, regardless of what's causing it and what the situation is. It's a scary feeling. So I sat there and I kept my eyes closed at first because I was like, I can't. You could see exactly the same with your eyes open as closed. So I sort of had a comfort of if they're closed, and that gave me that reassuring feeling that this is why I can't see is because my eyes are closed, not because I'm in the dark. So it gave me a chance to sort of overcome and get used to my surroundings, let the noise in the background, because there were other tables. We had our own section per se in terms of like a group of tables, but we were still in the same room as everybody else. We could hear other people talking. They were so quick too. The food came quick. They ask you when you're ready for your next course. They clear your plates, bring the next course. And it was interesting because you're feeling your food. Like you have to sort of put like a finger down to sort of see where your food is so you can sort of guide it onto your fork. Because otherwise you're just scooping blindly and hoping something's on there. But it was delicious. In terms of your work too, like you were mentioning about how you were sort of touching things and help guiding your food.
Well, then, I could kind of feel some of the clientele that I work with too, that, this is what their day-to-day life is like. So, so it was very interesting to get a perspective of that, even for a couple hours. Like, I really felt more connected to them.
Yeah. So instead of it just being like, oh, that was a cool experience, it was definitely like
it hit home a little bit.
Yeah, it was an empathetic experience because
Absolutely.
you learn to see what it's like. I remember thinking that too, and it was just like, hey, if I was a blind guy, I think this is where I would take someone on a first date.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of thing that's maybe hard for some people. I don't want to be like, oh, if you're blind, you definitely start at a disadvantage. I'm not saying that, but what I mean is that first dates are hard enough, right? You wouldn't want someone, so you go to something like that. That's a real cool opportunity to get to know someone for who they are because you take away the physical and that like it levels the playing field is what I'm trying to say. I think that's really kind of a cool. I thought it was really cool equality in terms of place of work. It was a great experience because it was really teaches empathy, and I just thought I thought it was overall cool. I gotta say I'd be really disappointed if I lived my whole life and didn't do it again.
Yeah, it was definitely quite the experience, and I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, is it something that you'd want to do again? Do you think, or do you think you've tried it and?
I would say maybe like in a few years, and I'd want to bring different people to have them to share that experience with them.
Like watching a movie with someone who's never seen it before.
Exactly.
Kind of thing?
Yeah, for sure. Just
do you want to see the look on their face?
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
No.
But the verbal equivalent of it.
Exactly.
The podcast version of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's do. That was a cool little thing we did. I remember that. So yeah, we're crossing bucket list stuff. We're going to Halifax coming up soon. I'm going to take this opportunity because we are quite a ways into the show to, of course, play a little something from our sponsors.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah. So the first one is coming up as always, Absolute Comedy, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll make a little time for them. Absolute Comedy is the best live stand-up comedy from across North America with locations in Kingston, Toronto, and Ottawa, Ontario. These comedians have been featured on Just for Laughs, Netflix, Comedy Central, CBC's The Debaters, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Conan, The Comedy Network, and much, much more. Go to absolutecomedy.ca to see this week's lineup. Planning a night out is easy with dinner and show packages available at all locations. Live comedy is a great choice if you're organizing a celebration, fundraiser, company outing, or corporate event. Want the show brought to you? They'll send comedians to your venue with performances tailored to your event, creating a night of laughs your guests will love and won't soon forget. So for showtimes, ticket prices, gift certificates, special shows, and more, head to absolutecomedy.ca. Again, that's absolutecomedy.ca for the best live stand-up comedy from across North America. Well, that was Absolute Comedy. It's so funny too because I play these. Let you guys peek behind the curtain a little bit. I play these off of my iPad. I got my iPad set up. You guys were maybe there the week that the iPad went off in the middle of the show. So this whole time that's playing, we're just looking at each other across the table, giving a thumbs up. It's like, are you having fun? Is this fun? Are you doing okay? Enjoying it?
Try not to make a noise at all.
Yeah, it's a fun little 50 seconds of pantomime back and forth. It's like a couples therapy activity. Oh my God. Can you do that yet? Did they train you how to do couples therapeutic, rec?
No, not yet. No, no.
You know, like throwing toilet paper rolls at each other. You never fill this back up. So you're like, all right, we got to find a purpose. How do we train him to put the seat down in a fun way for him? The underlying thing. So yeah, I'm going to also, take this opportunity because we're moving along. I'm having fun. I hope this episode's been more fun for you guys. And you know what? I don't give I do care. Of course I care. I'd be lying.
He doesn't care.
I do care. I love them very much. I appreciate the fact that anyone's paying attention to stuff.
No, he cares.
So super much. I talked last week, I think it was last week, about being in a situation with Jeff where I thought I might have to defend myself from a bear. I did. I thought I'd have to fight a bear. And I'd
love to see that.
That's what Jeff said. Everyone was like, I'd love to see you do that. I go, fuck, I'm not saying I want to, because I don't even know if this is going to work. I just said, in the event that a bear starts coming at me, I got to go with the information that's already in my head. I don't have time to Google it. If anyone was paying attention, there's no fucking service where I was. So even if I had a chance, I can't call for help. I can't Google. I can't say, hey, Siri, what do I do about a bear right now? Right? I couldn't do that. So I went with the information that I had, which is that bears have a lot of nerves in their nose. And I said that in that event, I would have to just go with my gut and go punch the bear in the face. I don't know about the tree thing. I don't know about play dead, all that shit. So
poke it in the nose.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have time to aim for the nostril. I thought if I just swing one of my meat hooks, right, my fists, and just wham in the nose, because I thought, this is what I said. I said, I think it would be the equivalent, or at least my understanding is it's like the equivalent of kicking it in the balls. There's so many nerves there, it would drop it. And then I said, but I did say also that I think that's why bear mace is so effective.
Okay.
Is because there's so many nerves, so it fucking drives it insane.
Okay.
So this week, ladies and gentlemen, we have my other partner, as always, from portablepress.com. We have the bathroom readers, of course. And this week, we have an article which I thought was very, very relevant to my discussion last week. I saw this one on a bookshelf and had to buy it. This one this week is from the edition called How to Fight a Bear and Win, and 72 Other Real Survival Tips We Hope You'll Never Need. And the article that I'll be reading today is the one and only How to Fight a Bear and Win. So we're going to start that one off. Let's see how right or accurate I was. So starting with this one, it says, if you ask 5 burly fellows how to fight a bear, you're going to get 5 different answers. Still, there are specific strategies that you should be aware of in the event that you go toe-to-toe with a bear. The most effective strategy may vary by situation and by bear. For information, to be honest with you. So they've broken it down into sections: learn, prevent, escape, frighten, all that stuff. So the first section is learn. It says, bears are nature's college students. They'll eat anything and they have no shame in scavenging. When they wander into a campsite, they generally aren't looking to rumble. They're hoping to find a backpack full of Cliff Bars. Many bears will be just as eager to avoid you as you are to avoid them. That said, like college students, some bears are just jerks. So that's the learn section. I don't really learn anything from that. Prevent is the second one. There's probably an old proverb that says the easiest way to win a bear fight is not to fight at all. To keep a bear from taking interest in your campsite, store all food, food waste, deodorant, anything that a bear might sniff and take interest in inside a locked bear canister. Then stash these purpose-built containers at least 100 feet outside of your camp while you're away. When you're at your campsite, a fire will keep most bears away. Then escape. If you're confronted by a bear, your first move should be to get away. Most experts say not to run because this can trigger a bear's predatory instinct. Instead, walk with a purpose in another direction. Avoid eye contact.
Sorry, walk with a purpose?
Yeah, walk with a purpose. You're like, did I leave the oven on? Walk with a purpose in another direction. Avoid eye contact. Often the bear will do the same, and you'll be like coworkers who bumped into each other in an adult bookstore. If you do run, going up or down a hill in a zigzag pattern will be more challenging for the bear, given its body weight and short legs. I love that it's like a zigzag pattern. It has to be challenging for the bear, like it's some sort of fucking mirror game. Like, why doesn't it just walk straight after you and you're zigzagging, wasting time by going back and forth, right? Blah, 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 given its body weight and short legs. Even so, you are very unlikely to outrun a bear. I can guarantee I will not outrun a bear. Frighten is the next section. Believe it or not, a little peacocking can convince a bear not to mess with you. Stand tall with your arms up, or if you're wearing a jacket, hold your jacket open to make yourself look as big as possible. Growl, shout, and bang pots and pans if you've got them. You're going to look ridiculous, but if the bear is calculating whether or not you're worth the effort of a fight, the more intimidating you can look, the more likely it is the bear will decide not to bother. So the last section of this one here is fight. If you are unable to get away and the bear was not discouraged by your growly face, it's time to tango. If you're lucky enough to have a gun, now's the time to start shooting. Aim for the lower neck and chest and keep firing. It will take more than one bullet to bring down a 1,400-pound Kodiak. See, that part bothered me because I'm like, I can't imagine anyone who's going to go walking in a zigzag pattern and trying to escape. Like, if you had a gun on you this whole time, I would imagine that that's most people's go-to. Whip it out and start firing. Not like, okay, guys, throw the shit in the bag. Let's start zigzagging away.
Yeah.
Don't look at it. Walk. Don't run. It's like you got a gun. Most people pull a gun if a fucking stranger walks up to them on the street. You know what I mean?
Most people. Really.
Yeah. It's like, but it's like a fucking bear that's like only kill you, right? Like I honestly, hats off to the person who has a gun on them and definitely climbs the ladder, goes step by step before going top shelf with the fucking gun. So good on them. But yeah, so if you have a knife, direct your stabbing toward the bear's neck. Spraying the charging beast with bear mace is also an option, though some experts say this only makes the bear angrier. And let's be honest, it's not the most manly approach. So when I said that thing about the bear mace, I thought that, okay, well, that's why bear mace is effective. So I guess experts say it's not necessarily effective. So yeah.
Just pisses them off.
So there you go, right?
Forget that.
So, yeah, it's definitely not a manly approach. Assuming you came into this confrontation unarmed, you need to arm yourself in a hurry. Grab a branch or a heavy rock if you can. Aim for the bear's weak spots, the eyes, snout, and neck. Booyah. I'm giving myself a little credit. Aim for it. Doesn't say that it's going to be a success. But aim for the snout. Perfect. If the bear is a boy, a kick to the nuts is also an option, which is what I thought too, right? Nose, nuts. If you manage to stun the bear enough that it momentarily backs off, try to get away. Killing the bear with your bare hands will be a tall order. I like the guy who's like, fuck that, I ain't no pussy.
Yeah, really.
I don't need no
battle
gun.
right in there.
Yeah, killing the bear with your bare hands will be a tall order. But if you put up enough of a fight, you may convince him to simply shake hands and go your separate ways. Metaphorically speaking, do not try to shake hands with a bear. So that was
Nice.
That was How to Fight a Bear and Win. From, of course, as always, the Bathroom Readers Institute, from the edition How to Fight a Bear and Win, and 72 other real survival tips we hope you'll never need. So if you guys enjoyed those things, like I said, I've got so many of these books already in my possession, so many I don't have. I love reading them. If you're interested in any particular type of trivia or information, check out portablepress.com. You can see all their different lineups of books and things like that online, and get one that works for you. And of course, they're also available in regular book retailers. I'm not naming them because they didn't pay me, so fuck them. Portablepress.com are my homies, my G's. So that's it for the ads so far for this week, right? We got through it pretty good, I'd say.
Good job.
Yeah. I'm excited. I got my Canada Day show, Sirius XM thing coming up.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, July 1st. You know what I mean? That's gonna be Canada Day. It's at 2 o'clock.
Is it still?
It's still, yeah. They didn't change it this year.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
on the 150th they'd pick a new day, but they didn't.
No,
They're still going with the same one. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So the show is at 2 p.m. It's myself and Jim McNally co-headlining.
Ooh.
Yeah, still waiting for Sirius to send us the poster for that. So I will plug that and smear it all over the place as soon as I have it. In the meantime, if you guys are in the nation's capital on its 150th birthday and looking for something to do earlier on in the day, just come out to see a show, maybe a little pre-drinking with some laughs, put you in a great mood so you don't get drunk and fight a stranger in the latter part of the day. Maybe
Sounds like a smart move.
Getting drunk and fighting a stranger?
No, pre-drinking at your show.
Pre-drinking at us. Yeah, pre-drink with us. You know what I mean? Then you leave drunk but in a good mood. Mm-hmm. You know? And then you can just keep going to get obliterated, which is what 99% of the people I've spoke to so far. They're like, yeah, I'm just going to get obliterated. And I go, okay.
Well, it's going to be...
Best of luck to you.
It's going to be quite crazy. You're not going to remember any of it anyways.
Absolutely. So if you guys are interested in that, that is at Absolute Comedy on July 1st at 2 p.m. over at 3:30 p.m. Great show. The full lineup to come shortly. You can get tickets. I think if you go to my Facebook page, some of the information is there. We're still working on it, but I'll let you guys know, sneak peek. And I'm going to be giving away some tickets. So if anybody out there in One Man Podcast Land would like some free tickets to that show, send me an email. What's the email address? contact@onemanpodcast.com. So send that in. I know I've had someone tell me that I plug the email address too much. I don't give a fuck. Right? Because you guys might not give a shit 40 minutes ago when I first said it or whenever it is. And then you're like, oh, free tickets. What is that? I don't feel like going back in time. So I'll tell you. So I think I usually say what's coming up this weekend. I don't have anything this weekend. We don't really have any plans. I think the one thing that you and I talked about doing was to go see that Bridesmaids Hangover.
Oh, yeah.
That big fusion movie called Rough Night, I think, with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
and then Catherine McKinnon, Kate McKinnon, I think it is.
Okay.
she's a goofy one who plays Hillary Clinton on Saturday Night Live all the time. She was in Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
And she was in the Office Christmas Party. She played the goofy one who was like the HR person always trying to plan things.
Okay.
Yeah. More information I have. I just look nerdier. It's not even helping me tell you what it is. You're like, you got so much stuff in your head. Useless crap. So that's what I think we're going to do that this weekend, right? We're going to check that out.
Yep.
And I'm going to try to be productive with the rest of my free time. I'll probably work on that serious show, right? Let people know that that's happening. So what we'll do at this point, because we are getting pretty close to I mean, I say it's the end, but last week was 52 minutes. I was merciful, right? Ran out of stuff to talk about. So yeah, I got some emails this week, guys, and I'm going to share them with you now. I'm going to move give me one sec here to reposition myself, because this one, this was someone responding. I think this was also in last week's podcast. This is Mike L. I got 2 emails from Mikes this week. We got a Mike L and a Mike T. Mike L is first. And he was referring to the crossing guards thing that I had input, which you too were giving me some insight on. You're like, yeah, I don't know if I agree with it, because, and I appreciate it. I'm totally open. So just as this sort of reinforces to you guys that if I say something and you don't agree with it, you are more than welcome to email me and say, you're wrong because, or, this is actually my opinion. I don't care. Let's just talk, man.
Yeah.
That's all I want. So Mike L says, after your insightful rant about the uselessness of crossing guards, I figure I would let you know that for the most part, while drivers are good at stopping at stop signs and such, the crossing guards generally play more of a role of ensuring the kids the kids getting to school respect the rules of the road. Sorry, I got that the wrong way there. Also, in many urban and suburban neighborhoods, you have specific streets that are used to get to school that are considered safe streets. We have safe spaces. No, we have safe streets. Is that a thing that they have around here? Safe streets?
I think so.
Oh, fuck. Is it like, do they send home a flyer and they're like, these are the safe streets. Tell your kids to walk on them?
I haven't gotten the flyer yet.
Oh, fuck. That's the thing. Like, that's a new word to me. There's the ones that are considered safe streets. In part, that the kids will travel down in numbers, and the crossing guards act at intermediary watchers between these streets. Oh, those are big words. The guards act at intermediary watchers. Oh, it says act at, but I think it means act as intermediary watchers. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a pass on that one. If it was just me not being able to read, it's a different story. But he put an ad instead of as between those streets. So basically, what is he saying? He's saying that the crossing guards are there to make sure that the kids are walking on the safe streets.
Yeah.
Well, how do they know if they're walking somewhere else? They're doing a head count when they're crossing the street? Mm-hmm.
Well, no, but like I was saying, it's to make sure the kids are being safe too. Not necessarily that you've got crazy drives all over the place, but they're learning kind of road safety as well. And as a parent too, you want to know that your kid is getting to school safely. I
can get that too, but isn't that just training them that when you cross the street, someone should be there chaperoning you across it? Like, how does it teach you to act?
It builds confidence. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Now you do it on your own. Okay. You feel better about doing it on your own.
I'll be honest. I wish someone would stop traffic for me. I hate waiting at the lights.
I'd love that.
Right? You just get there and just all of a sudden somebody.
No. Did you see the way they do streets now? There's a street right over here that you press the button and these lights flash up, and it's not a regular cross. It's not a regular intersection with like red lights. It's just these yellow lights that'll flash to let you know that someone's crossing. So you don't need a crossing guard at that point. It's also between two schools.
Does it only operate during certain hours of the day?
All the time.
See, I don't like that because that could really slow down traffic. If it was just anytime someone wants to cross, you just hit it and it stops.
Yeah, but if someone's crossing the street, you got to stop. Well, no matter what, right? Maybe I'm missing your point. Sorry.
No, you're right. You're right. If someone is crossing the street, yes, you have to stop. But see, the thing is, that's what corners are for. That's what what do you call it? Stoplights are for, right? Because people who cross, like, they're not going to build one of those in the middle of a road because they're like, they don't want people crossing there. Mm-hmm. So I think.
I mean, there's not houses around, so it's not going to interfere with houses, like seeing that outside your window. Right. You know, it's more there's schools there, and at night there's not. I don't know.
No, I think I get it. I like the idea that you can press it and you can cross. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It helps. It definitely encourages you to be more regulated because the amount of people in certain areas that'll just run across a parking lot, like where I work in my other shitty soul-sucking job, there's 2 crosswalks and people will cross in between both of them which is it's not even that far between, but it's far enough that I have to stop a third time. I stop one and then I stop the other. And now I'm constantly stopping a third time because people are always crossing in the middle. And there's two for them to choose from. So I like the idea. If it definitely helps with the structuring of where people cross, I like that. Because there's parts of Ottawa and parts of Montreal when I'm there, parts of Toronto, where people are always, it's like that same street all the time, always crossing in a spot that is not. So if it's something that goes somewhere that encourages people to shuffle into an area and that you can get ready for it, that, again, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't even give a fuck that much. Crossing guards, I'm not going to be one. I ain't going to be that. All right, put me in a home. I'd rather than being a crossing guard. But
they're useful is what we're trying to say. That's all.
I'm not trying to say that. All right. I appreciate it. But it is 2 against 1 at this point. No one's siding with me. So the last line of his email just says, I see where you went with your views on this, but they definitely serve a useful purpose, unlike most Walmart greeters. Oh, no.
Ooh,
Walmart greeters. Shots fired. Cheers. Thank you, Mike L, for writing in. I appreciate that. I want your next email to be about Walmart greeters. I feel bad for Walmart greeters because it's like, wow, I don't think we have time for that. We're already over the hour mark. I don't have time. I got 2 more emails to read. Yeah. You know what? I hope people are still interested, but like it or not, we're doing this.
I'm super awesome. Of course, they're loving it.
Absolutely. So I definitely agree. I'm trying to think of like what. Should we go down the road of Walmart? You know what? I'm going to talk about it for just a quick minute. I really am, because Walmart greeters are those people that I feel bad for them, but it's almost like, what is your job? Your job is to put the sticker on the thing when I walk in to return something, so you know I didn't steal it. But like that's your line of defense. Do you know what I mean? Like to say that your anti-theft policy is fucking 88-year-old Herbert, who's occasionally holding the oxygen tank next to him.
Oh, I don't know if I can go down this road.
You don't have to come with me. Okay. I love you.
I'll be back. On this
I'll
one,
be back to pick you up. I'm still going to stare at you and read your reaction.
Might take a bathroom break on this one.
I'm just saying, I get that it's the give a senior an opportunity to earn some income, and I do stand behind that.
You've lost me already.
Really? Because I stand behind your note support seniors getting more jobs?
No. Well, I do. No, you lost me at the beginning of that.
I know. I figured. I definitely figured I didn't miss you on the good part.
Okay.
But what I mean is, like, if you're the security, if someone is going to steal from a Walmart, like that kind of person, like, what is that guy going to do to stop them? That's the part that I go, you know what I mean? It's like, have you ever been in a bank and you see an overweight security guard spilling out of their pants in the corner and you go, you're the one who's going to stop me? I think I'll take my chances. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I don't want to hurt any of them. I think it's great that they're there. Clearly, Mike L thinks that they're fucking useless. You know what I mean? He brought this up. So that's all I'm saying is I see that and I go, I get that it's one of those formality jobs, like the Queen. You're a figurehead, but no one actually expects you to hold office. No one expects you to reign over us as Queen. I don't think anyone expects him to actually provide security at the door. That's all I have to say about it. Did you want
That's fair enough. No.
Did you want to weigh in on your position?
No, I think I'm good.
Really? Oh, now I'm going to feel bad for the rest of my life.
No, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. It helps people feel grieved when they come in. You're getting support. You have a job. Like it's a win-win. Yeah, we know they're not security. They're not ready to no, that's not their purpose. It's not. And I'm sorry, but my kids love it when they get a sticker. You know what I mean?
See, that's why I need you to tell me these things, because I'm always going with what the fuck is this position? And then you're like, see, it's nice because they're warm and they make people feel, and I'm not going to lie, honey, I didn't think of it before. When you go into a Walmart, you need every ounce of positivity that you can get.
You do.
You're in a Walmart.
I agree with that.
So see, that's what I need. I need to be reminded of these things, because I just go with the, sir, can I see your receipt? That's not on there. Well, what are you going to do about it? I see him in that situation. Yeah. So anyways, there's Walmart greeters. Mike, you got a freebie out of us on that one, your email. Thank you so much for it. I appreciate it. Now we have Mike T, who says, hello, Josh. Great job on the podcast launch and subsequent episodes. Oh, thank you very much. Just finished episode 3. The show felt a lot more natural and genuine. Even if you did say ums and uhs like I just did. I didn't notice them after you stopped bringing attention to it. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I should stop doing that. Right? I'll teach myself how to speak without going, oh, I just made this mistake. I missed the absolute plugs for the headliners. It was good info, plus always interesting to hear little anecdotes about comics you've seen or worked with. I stopped doing that because it was taking a really long time. Someone made a good point to me one time in passing that it's a little bit of a break in momentum. It's got a different cadence. So when I'm just one tone the whole way through, it can get a little daunting for you guys. And I get that. And I do appreciate the fact that you still listen regardless. But yeah, I thought it was good feedback, and it feels like it does sort of break up the pacing a little bit, gives a little bit of a break, almost like a tiny little reset in the middle of things. So I do like that. Not to mention the fact that the headliners change every week. So if someone listens to this podcast a week late, right? I thought at first it made sense because I'm doing the show on Wednesdays, and that's sort of the beginning of the comedy club week. So if someone hears it, they go, oh, that person's there. So that's what I thought. Ooh, somebody's slurping on their straw right into the microphone. That's okay. I've made more mistakes in the podcast so far. So, but the
I didn't realize it was so loud.
Yeah. So I don't say the names anymore too, because if you listen to the podcast a week late, you've already missed your opportunity to see that person and to, listen to, I mean, obviously these are going to be classic. You guys are going to be like, I love this podcast so much. I got to go back and listen to it again. And I don't want you to hear the name, and not be able to see the person or be bummed out on the current week because you're like, oh, I didn't miss that guy. Well, fuck comedy. So it's faster, it's quicker, it's more streamlined. And, but I do appreciate that. And of course, if you want to know who the headliners are, I mean, go to absolutecomedy.com. They're all there all the time, and you can see well in advance. So not just the 1 week I'm talking about, but you can see what's coming up for quite some time. You will get ahead. You will be the inside information of what I'm going to say on the One Man Podcast. So yeah, what else does he say here? Oh, his bucket list. So Mike has sent in his bucket list. For his career bucket list, he has HBO special. Netflix doesn't count. He has in brackets. So I don't know why an HBO special. If you want to tell me in passing or write back in, feel free. I don't know if anyone gives a shit, but I'd like to know why. I know HBO was first, so that was a really big deal back in the day, but a lot of things were that may not be around. David doing a spot on Letterman was super important, and that's not an option anymore. So Netflix is kind of the one of the big ones right now, because almost everybody has Netflix, I'd say, and not a lot of people pay for HBO. I'll be honest, I'm one of the people that does not pay for HBO, but I'm on Netflix every day almost, if not actually every day. So yeah, I gotta say, I go to bat for Netflix and say Netflix a little bit bigger giant than HBO. HBO was the fucking Netflix before Netflix, right? The subscribe,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
It was the expensive one. Personal, Mike, you have a career in comedy that allows me to achieve the career bucket item. I think that's a little, yeah, your personal goal cannot be to have a career. That would be the career goal. Not to come at you, but I think that you can do better. Your personal goal is to have a career. You got to have something better, something that you want to do for you, right? Something that you want to see, a hobby that you have that you would love to just, right? Even just like learn how to play the guitar or something like, right?
Should we be judging somebody else's bucket list?
Fuck yeah.
I think
fuck 'em.
that's like
No.
illegal.
No, I'm totally, I'm not judging it, but I am going to, I think this is like one of those game show things where it's like, blow up judges. Well, you know what I mean? Like, no, this doesn't count.
Oh my God.
I'm going to say, yeah.
Okay.
Well, when there's a section for career, anyways, you know what? I'm
It's
not
all
gonna
good.
I'm not gonna come at it. I would hope that you have more personal goals than to have the career bucket list item met. But I do get it. It'd be so cool to do that for sure. And then of course your romantic one, make love on an active volcano, preferably with a female companion. Yeah.
Well, that's one.
I'm more curious why the active volcano thing is like, is it basically because it's like the world's biggest vibrator, it's rumbling on her and she's going to think it's all you? But then you said preferably a female one. So you're like, as long as the koala knows that I rocked its
Yeah.
world. So cool, man. Thanks for sending in your bucket list. I really appreciate it. You do say also, I'm enjoying the Uncle John's excerpts. I have seen the books in the comedy aisle in chapters for as long as I can remember and never purchased one because I dislike the cover art. But now with some exposure to the content, I can see my error and will purchase a copy the next time I see one. Well, you definitely should.
Cool.
Yeah. Looking forward to hearing Jason on the subject of the comedy contest and learning some pro tips. We'll definitely stay tuned. Anyway, keep up the good work, and I'll buy any unclaimed pizzas at the end of the night. If you are truly concerned about mortality, I'll plug the fact that I'm a licensed cemetery and funeral pre-planning director. Oh, there you go, hon. We can get you started on a plan to take care of things in the event that you can't work. Standby ambulance into your rider. So if you can't work, a standby ambulance into my rider, because I was saying that I wanted an ambulance on standby. So yeah, if we can't get that, this guy will fucking bury me.
Good.
I like that. You
It's
see
nice
his
to know
personal
people.
his personal bucket list item should be to bury as many comedians as possible in his personal life. Best regards. So thank you, Mike T, for writing in. We're at the 1 hour and 10 minute mark. Because I have you here, Angel, and the next one, the last email that I received, I actually received it an hour before recording this. I want to read it because it has to do with stuff that you're doing. So I will plug this very quickly, guys. I know it's the 1 hour, 10 minute mark, and I do appreciate you still being here and listening. If you are still here, thank you so much. I've got one last email that it's not even printed on my show notes. So I got to read it off of my phone. I got a Good Life membership today. So I'm back to, they hooked me up a little bit. I didn't have to pay full price. So I'm happy with that because, odds are, I'm staring at you guys. Cannot see her face right now. She seems like, oh geez, what's he talking about?
I'm just like, where are you going?
So I'm back to trying to hit the gym, lose the weight. We talked about the Wonderland thing. This is part of it. Okay. So just so you know, we'll talk more about it in later episodes, but I did get the gym membership. I'm going to, I'll do a weigh-in, let you guys know what I'm at, and keep you up to date. So, hold myself accountable and tell you how things are going.
All right.
Try. Yeah. So we'll talk about that later, but that sort of is relevant to this. So doing that. This last one is from Chris, who did write in a previous podcast with some of the stuff, but Chris wrote this. Hey Josh, on podcast number 2, you spoke about some shitty diet. Don't do it. Diets suck. They don't work. The point of a diet is to have a start date and an end goal of so many pounds. I'm going to flip this on its side so I can bigger words. Point diets. You start and are no longer allowed carbs, or you can only drink smoothies, or you must learn to survive on tea alone. What is this going to do for you? Sure, you will probably lose weight. You'll probably lose friends too because you'll be a grumpy asshole. And once you do lose the weight, then what? What the hell do you eat now? You sure as shit aren't going to eat the same stuff you ate while on the diet. You didn't learn anything. After Christmas, I found myself weighing around 180 pounds, which for me is heavy. My t-shirts no longer fit properly. I don't want to diet, and I also didn't want to be in this situation again. So instead of giving up certain foods, I portioned them properly. I found out my daily allotted calories and stuck with it. The food I ate didn't change, my portions did. That worked pretty well. Oh, sorry, I apologize. It's so small on my phone. I'm having a hard time reading it. This works pretty well for weight loss. However, if you're trying to prevent having a heart attack in the middle of bush country with nothing but an old Ford Ranger with the word amber lamps painted on the side to get you to a hospital 3 counties over, then you might want to change what you eat. We don't want you dying on us, Josh, but most of all, we want you to have fun at Wonderland. Your friend, Chris. And then I'm going to put, so I am aware of portion control because calories and everything like that is math. So, if you, just a nice round number, if you need to use and burn 2,000 calories a day, that's what your daily calories are, and you take in 2,500, well, then the extra is stored, and it's stored in the form of fat, and you're big and huge, and every day 500, it adds up, and it makes you look like me eventually in time. So I am aware that it's the portion control, it's math. I think I refer to eating differently as a diet. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I think a lot of people do, which is probably why that's in my head that way, but that's effectively why I say diet. So I don't.
It's just to change what you currently do.
Exactly. I want to change my food. So basically what you're saying, Chris, is I do apologize for not articulating it better. That is effectively what I want to do, is to eat better and eat better portion controls. Now I did think, I'm going to cut certain things out, but like you said, I mean, you want to do something that you can sustain and not something that's just like you said, okay, now I'm at the weight, and then you go back to normal and then everything collapses back. I had that happen. I lost a lot of weight. I was getting a lot of compliments, and I was almost like I had this feeling of success. And I hadn't got where I wanted. I was just feeling good. And then you let things slip and slope, and then everything goes back to normal. So so you said, your friend Chris, and you've added the second part. You don't have to share this part of the show. Well, I'm going to get into details of what I did to lose 20 pounds so far without really trying. This is still not that long, guys, just in case you're like, okay, fuck it. I downloaded Under Armour's MyFitnessPal, which asks me my age, height, weight, goal weight, time I'd like to achieve the weight, and daily activity level. I believe it was a sliding scale which went from sloth to Power Ranger. Based on that info, sorry, I think this is hysterical. Based on that info, they tell you that how many calories you're allowed a day. Mine was 2,700. From the app, you type in what you eat, oranges, pizzas, etc. It'll tell you the calories and add it to whichever meal you wish, keeping a tally. You can also scan barcodes and it will add the calorie info for that. It makes it really easy to figure out how big your meals should be and eventually just know. Sorry, I may have fucked this up or you may have fucked it up. It makes it really easy to figure out how big your meals should be and eventually you just know and can then stop using the app. Okay, I get it now. You're supposed to put commas and shit in there. I still use it for weekly weigh-ins. That's it. 2 foods I recommend if you're not that picky are avocados and coconut oil. I use coconut oil. Hun, you're big on the avocados.
Huge avocado fan.
And I think you do exactly what he's about to describe here. Yeah, coconut. I'll eat about 4 to 5 avocados a week. You're at the exact
I'm
same
at about
rate.
5, yeah.
Yeah, usually 1 a day at work. Yours is in the morning.
Yes.
Right? And you pour lemon juice on it or whatever.
Yeah.
To give it some flavor. I'll mash it up and put it on my lunch meat sandwich instead of mayonnaise, and I friggin' love it. Or mash it, mix it with a tablespoon or 2 of salsa to make lazy man's guac.
Nice.
That could work, eh? Mash it a little salsa.
Yeah.
Coconut oil comes in a jar. Thanks. I'm not that far from fucking health where I don't even know what some of this stuff comes in. And will be white and solid. Dude, I have a huge fucking jar of coconut oil. This okay. I didn't read all the way to the end. I didn't realize my intelligence was going to get insulted. It turns liquid around 25 degrees Celsius, but I prefer it solid because I spread it as the base layer on my peanut butter or Nutella sandwiches.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Great if you like Bounty bars. Yeah, I could see that. Chocolate and coconut is like Bounty, right? The chocolate bars with the coconut inside them.
So what's the benefit, though? I understand the benefit of cooking with coconut oil because it turns it into a healthy fat than other oils.
Yeah.
However, putting it on bread and stuff,
I think
what is that benefit?
So I don't know. I'm probably going to come across as real ignorant. I know that it's good for you. They say that you should have like either a teaspoon or a tablespoon of coconut oil every day.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
It's kind of like, you know how like avocados like the good fat or whatever?
For sure.
Which I still also don't know. It's like I know to say that and that's about it. But they have it's the same with coconut oil. People say you should have a tablespoon. So I use coconut oil currently, but I use it to cook. Like I'll usually make myself like 2 fried eggs in the morning and I use coconut oil to butter the nonstick pan. So I don't cook with any oil other than coconut oil. And you don't like when I do that because you say you can taste the coconut oil in the eggs. I can't.
I don't like cooking with it, no.
Yeah, I can't taste it. So so that was it. Chris, thank you so much for adding that in. That is an hour and 17 minutes.
All right. Geez,
So
can we
you
give
guys-
these people a break?
Yeah, we
What the
definitely
heck?
can. Listen,
Just joking.
I really appreciate you guys listening as always. Feel free to send your emails, your stories, your bucket lists, your goals, your hopes, and your dreams to contact@onemanpodcast.com. I'd love to have these talks and keep you guys as a part of the show. And look at that. This is the first time it didn't feel forced to fill an hour. We went well over with the things that we were talking about. So all I need is someone to talk to or anyways, yeah, you're on every show now. I'm kidding. Couldn't possibly do it. So as always, guys, thank you so much. You're welcome to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all at One Man Podcast. So check that out. Until next week's show, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for
my first
having
guest,
me.
the one lady. We will talk to you guys next week. Thanks for listening. Cheers.
Bye, guys.